We've all faced the invariable pile of dishes, and many of us have simply put them off for days at a time, till we finally roll up our sleeves and get to work to load the dishwasher, while we all think of it as a wasted time. We scowl at children who put cups by the sink in hopes that somehow those dishes will make their way into the dishwasher. Before the dishwasher, doing the dishes could take 2 hours a day, and if you were wealthy enough to own fine china, your servants were probably breaking it. But in 1886, a furious socialite decided she'd had enough, and her frustration led to one of the most important and underrated inventions in modern home history. This is the story of how the dishwasher changed the world. Dishes first appeared about 30,000 years ago during the Paleolithic period. And from that period on, the bane of young allowance earners, housewives, restaurants, and single folk has been washing dishes. From ancient kitchens to steam powered prototypes to the appliance that helped reshape modern family life. I'm Aiden Thomas of Hidden History, and this is the surprisingly dramatic history of the dishwasher. For most of human history, dishes were washed the same way, by hand, with water and friction. Ancient Romans washed dishes using water from pots, buckets, or nearby fountains, often employing sand, wood ash, or pumice as abrasives to scrub away grease. Slaves typically handled cleaning in kitchens using tubs or basins, while earthenware was frequently replaced due to the abrasive cleaning methods, such as sand, ash, and sometimes salt were used to scour residue, particularly for metal and heavy-duty pots. While soap existed from animal fat and wood ash, it was not common for daily cleaning. Hot water and scrubbing were more standard. Kitchen slaves used large portable bowls or basins to wash rather than built-in sinks. Wastewater and scraps were often thrown into the streets or disposed of in drains such as those found in Pompeii. Due to the abrasive techniques, earthenware pottery deteriorated quickly and required frequent replacement. In medieval Europe, people cleaned dishes using hot water, sand, wood ash, and sometimes soap made from animal fat. Dishes were often scrubbed with sand to remove stuck food. Other common methods include wiping dishes with bran, using herbs, rinsing in streams, or letting dogs lick them clean. Wooden bowls were often wiped down or scrubbed while clay pots were rinsed and dried. Sometimes wooden items were cleaned in running water and dried in the sun. The elite, and sometimes common dining, involved using stale bread, which were called trenchers, as plates, which were either later eaten, fed to the animals, or given to the poor, reducing the need for washing. Even in the 1800s, washing dishes meant you did them by hand, typically using a two-bucket or two-tub system, one for washing with hot soapy water and one for rinsing, as there was no running water or electric dishwashers. They used homemade soap from lye and grease, scouring aided still like sand and wood ash, and sometimes dried dishes with cloths or allowed them to air dry on a table. All of these methods were unpleasant. They were exhausting. In large households, dishwashing could consume hours every single day. And as porcelain and glassware became more delicate in the 19th century, breakage became a serious problem. Which brings us to one very annoyed woman in Illinois. Her name was Josephine Cochrane. It was 1886. She was wealthy, well connected, and she hosted frequent dinner parties. But there was a problem. Her servants kept chipping her fine china. Frustrated, she reportedly said, "If nobody else is going to invent a dishwashing machine, I'll do it myself." And she did. Now, here's what makes this so incredible. Josephine wasn't an engineer. She wasn't formally trained in mechanics, but she understood something simple. If dishes could be held in place and blasted with hot pressurized water, you wouldn't need scrubbing at all. So with a partner, she designed a machine with a motor, a boiler, wire racks to hold plates, and water jets that sprayed upward. Instead of brushes, sand, ash, or pumice, she used water pressure. It was revolutionary. In 1886, she patented the first commercially successful dishwasher. Her invention was unveiled at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago under the name Lavadora. And unlike earlier failed designs, hers actually worked. Now, you would think that this would instantly change households everywhere. It didn't. Why? Because in the 1800s, most homes didn't have running water or electricity. And even if they did, labor was cheaper than machines, and in some darker parts of the world, it was free. So Josephine pivoted. Instead of marketing to homes, she sold to hotels, restaurants, hospitals, businesses that needed speed and sanitation and had running water and electricity. And it worked. Her company eventually became part of what we now know as KitchenAid. But the household dishwasher, that is still decades away. The real breakthrough came in mid-1900s. After World War II, homes rapidly modernized. Electricity became standard. Indoor plumbing and running water spread nationwide, and suburban living exploded. Appliance companies saw an opportunity. Initially, dishwashers were sold as standalone or portable devices, but with the development of the wall-to-wall countertop and standardized height cabinets, dishwashers began to be marketed with standardized sizes and shapes and integrated underneath the kitchen countertop as a modular unit with other kitchen appliances like the refrigerator and the oven. In the 1950s and 60s, dishwashers became symbols of modern convenience, middle-class success, the future of the American home. Advertisements promised freedom from kitchen drudgery, and this mattered more than people realize because historically, dishwashing fell almost entirely on women. Time-saving appliances like washing machines, vacuum cleaners, and dishwashers quietly reshaped domestic life. By the 1970s, dishwashers were becoming standard in new homes, and today, over 70% of American households have one. Modern dishwashers are engineering marvels compared to Josephine's designs. They now include soil sensors, energy-efficient cycles, high-temperature sanitizing modes, water usage as low as 3 gallons per load. Ironically, a modern dishwasher often uses less water than washing dishes by hand. What began as a socialite protecting her china became a device that saves time, labor, water, and in many cases, money. And right now, even with all of this convenience, anyone who sees a sink or counter full of dirty dishes is still looking for the self-loading dishwasher. The dishwasher isn't just an appliance. It represents something bigger. It represents the automation of daily life, the slow replacement of manual labor with machines, and the quiet inventions that change society, not with explosions, but with convenience. All because one woman was tired of her dishes breaking, and she decided to solve the problem herself. If you enjoyed this deep dive into everyday history, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button for more episodes exploring the hidden stories behind ordinary objects. Comment down below with additional suggestions that you'd like to learn about on hidden history. Next time, we'll be going over the history of the refrigerator and how it changed what the entire world eats. Until then, take a look around your kitchen. History is everywhere.